Biggest challenge, one obviously is the cash flow issue, but the second one was COVID. Because a lot of our suppliers are in Italy. When Italy got hit so hard, all our warehouses closed down. Our sales exploded, but we couldn't deliver products because our warehouses were closed or things were getting stuck at customs for 2 weeks. That's when we started to build our own brand and kind of drove traffic to that. But also we had to just rely heavily on partnerships. So we were dealing with Australia Post and we're dealing with other post companies, and then we decided to lock in a contract with DHL Express because they could get through customs.
So you locked in with DHL because they were the only one that could get the clothes from Italy to Australia, or effectively.
DHL were the most expensive, but they're the ones that were reliable.
Yeah.
When you're building a brand, the last thing you want is to just get named.
Yeah, you need reliability, especially an online brand, especially online retail. Like reliability is the most important, because when you go into a shop, you're in the shop, the clothes there, I can pick it up. I know that I'm getting it. I know I'm paying this and I'm receiving something. With online, you don't. It's like, okay, I've got to pay now, but I haven't got it yet. I've got to wait and just pray it comes in time. And I want to know that it comes in red, the color I ordered, and the size that I ordered, and that it is Gucci and not Gucky, some other fake Gucci. Reliability is definitely, I would say, a priority of online companies.
Yeah, definitely, and especially shipping. It's people want things now. They buy things and they want it now, but we're kind of hamstrung because they're coming from different countries. You buy it today, you can't have it today.
Yep.
So we needed to partner with a company that could get it there in as little time as possible. So 3 to 5 days. Like you order something from Gucci from us, it comes from Gucci in Italy, and it gets in 3 to 5 days. Like
that's pretty fast.
It's quite cool.
And when Italy shut down, did you then have to go, like with all order issues and people that ordered, they're not getting their clothes? Did you guys have to get on the phone, start contacting your client, people that had ordered, or? Yeah,
and that's what the whole relationship managing thing was just picking up the phone to 42 marketplaces saying, hey, there's going to be an issue here, because at the end of the day, the customer is the marketplace's customer, not so much ours. So we're burning their relationship too. Yep. So it was all the whole the stressful time of dealing with the marketplace and making sure they're okay, but also making sure things get delivered on time and refunds and different things.
So if you think about it, the worst time in history to have ordered a piece of clothing online was when COVID first whacked Italy.
Exactly.
That is the worst time in history you could ever order anything online.
And that was the toughest time for us. But then we had to go out and meet new suppliers and find the same products from other suppliers. And most of the time we could do it. We'd lost a lot of margin because we were buying it not as cheap and stuff, but we were still delivering to our customers. So that was kind of the end goal, was to make sure everyone was happy.
Yeah, I think that's great. And you put your customers first.
When you're young, you're like, I want $100,000 job. That's my pinnacle. And then you get there and it's like, well, it's not actually much money.
I'm still poor.
And then it was just always the next one. So it always has been about making money, but also building a reputation. In car sales, there was a guy, Steve Crawford, that he had this presence where he'd walk into the room and speak so loud you would cheat yourself. But he would talk like I'm talking now, but he would be like 10 tones higher, and he'd instantly demand respect. And I was like, I want to be this guy. And then I realized that all I needed to do was shout. But it was always around that. So it was like, how do we build the presence up and all that up? But then it kind of came with it of the business, and then it was like, hold on a second, now I'm starting to help businesses that are affected by COVID or by other things help sell their products. And when you start selling to somebody, and then you start realizing, I'm actually helping this guy quite a lot. Like, he's got $200,000 worth of stock sitting on his floor, he can't move. And we've just moved it in a month. That actually starts becoming quite valuable. And it's like, well, I'm actually helping him now. And then we started giving all our returns to charity. We got a lot of returns to come back to us. And rather than reselling them, we had about 2,000
so people
pieces.
bought clothes from the platform, returned it for whatever reason, and then instead of on-selling it, you guys gave it to Vinnie's, to charity. It's conscious capitalism. Yeah. It's business, a profitable business that also helps the community and society, providing goods and services in the forms of clothing in your case, and in forms of allowing businesses to grow for the retailers that you work with, that you allow the business to grow faster by putting them through your platforms. But also you're doing charitable work as well with returned items. You're giving them to Vinnie's to make good clothes more affordable to those who don't have the financial means to potentially buy new clothes.
Yeah.
That's an incredible. Business is a force for good, and even with a focus for cash, like you're saying, it's still a force for good. You're still doing things that are contributing to this world in an incredible way. Well, how would you close a car sale? So at the end of a car tour, what would you say to, like, what would be your line? Did you have a line? Or what would you say?
I had the same thing over and over again. Someone would walk onto the yard and I'd say, what kind of colour are you looking for? And they would say, red. All right. What kind of car are you looking for? Small or medium or small? Are you looking for manual, automatic? Automatic. What price are you looking for? 20 grand. So I would say, if I could find you a red car, automatic, under 20 grand, small car, would you buy it today? And the answer would be yes or no. And then if it was yes, then basically walk them to the car, then walk back to the desk. And if it was no, I would go find someone else. So it was that simple. It was just basically going down a hallway, closing doors.
So you basically identified, are you a buyer? Are you a real buyer? Would you buy today? And if you are, well, then I'm going to help you find the product that you just described.
Exactly. And that's when that whole Wolf of Wall Street came out and that straight line selling. And I kind of studied that religiously.
The book.
Exactly. It's all about what I just said was the straight line of closing doors the whole way through. So if you had like a straight line, you'd get them to say yes and you'd progress to the next line. If they said no, you'd go back around and start again and get them to say yes 6 times. But it was also supply and demand. So that whole thing with the pen, it was what kind of pen do you need? If this pen can help you write, that's what pen you need. Where other people sell the benefits of the pen and sell, oh, this pen is amazing, it has all these different things, blah, blah, blah. But the customer might not need the pen.
You're really getting them to explain to you what they want and why they want it. But you're getting them to say it to you.
Yeah, they're selling themselves more.
Yeah, they're selling themselves.
Yeah, so it was one thing the straight line selling said, you never sell someone that's not interested in buying something.
Yeah, kind of like getting them to say why they need it. Is that what you're talking about?
It's exactly right, and that's in every part of life. I found that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
like I sold to one of the CEOs of a iron mine about truckless mining, and I knew nothing about truckless mining or engineering, and I just got him to talk for 45 minutes about truckless mining, and then repeated to him what he had told me. And then he put $1 million contract worth of truckless mining, and then came at the end of it, he goes, "You're so knowledgeable." I'm like, I've said like 10 words.
I literally copied you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.